Do you love capitalism? Do you think that a private company should be able to do what the fuck they want? If you answered yes, then I think you should shut the fuck up about the Joe Rogan situation. Because what it boils down to is basically a private company deciding or choosing what to show on their platform. Am I right? Well, yeah, I'm right. You can't deny that. But I think there's a bit more to it. And also, you can say what the fuck you want. You have the right to do that. I don't think I need to go through who the fuck Joe Rogan is. If you haven't lived under a rock for, I don't know, 10 years or so, plus 10 years, you know who Joe Rogan is. And also, if you haven't lived under a rock for the past 3 months, I'm pretty sure you're aware of the controversy that is now going on. And now we're here. That Spotify actually removed 113 episodes of Joe Rogan in the midst of misinformation and then the N-word controversy. And here's the problem. I believe that there's no reason to remove those. There might be some harmful episodes, there might be some helpful episodes, there might be some fun and not so fun episodes. But if you enjoy watching them, you're gonna watch them either way. But then again, this is capitalism. A private company can choose to remove 113 episodes of Joe Rogan. They don't even need to tell you why they did that. Probably to ease the investors and the mob mentality. I'm pretty sure that's the reason. But a private company really doesn't need to disclose the reason for that. They can just fucking do it. I'm really sad that there's actually one episode I love, which they removed, and we're gonna watch that list in a second. But first, we're gonna check some news about this situation. Independent Road, Spotify quietly removes 113 episodes of Joe Rogan's podcast amid misinformation and the N-word controversy. Spotify has quietly removed more than 110 episodes of Joe Rogan. Yeah, like, other than people who constantly go through those episodes, not a lot of people know this. But of course, when one Twitter user tweeted out that this amount of episode has been removed, it was a snowball. It just went through all the right-wing influencer and got fired, and now we're here. Another controversy. And we're gonna go through what people are saying about this, which is kind of fucking hilarious. Majority of the people who are outraged about this are the most hardcore protectors of capitalism and the rights of private companies and the freedom of private companies, except when it comes to this situation, except when it comes to this controversy. In this controversy, those people who are the most supportive and protective of capitalism has suddenly discarded capitalism altogether, which is kind of funny. So, if you want to see what's missing from the Joe Rogan podcasts, there's actually a website called JRE, which is Joe Rogan Experience Missing.com, and it lists everything that's missing on the site, and it actually tells you the dates when they've been removed. But yeah, majority of these that are on this list aren't actually the ones that I've watched. I've watched actually Alex Jones once because they are really fucking entertaining. He's one of the most craziest persons I've ever seen, and he's just hilarious to watch. What else? Oh yeah, let's go what I was talking about earlier. The one that actually I was disappointed at, and here it is. It's the Bill Burr one. I don't know what Bill Burr has done to get removed, but I don't think he deserves this. I don't think he deserves this treatment at all. Like, Bill Burr is one of the most neutral people. If you watch any interview of Bill Burr, he's really fucking educated a lot of things, and he doesn't comment on things. He has actually commented on Joe Rogan's podcast that he doesn't want to talk about COVID or vaccines or anything else because he's not a doctor. So he's a really, really smart person, not to like throw more gasoline to the flames. And I was a little bit surprised that Bill Burr's name was here. Jim Norton. Well, Jim Norton can say a lot of things, but I don't think he is that controversial either. But then there was one video going around Twitter about India Ari. I hope I pronounced her name right. But she was talking about the Joe Rogan N-word controversy. And I will give you now, because this interview was one of the most important parts to tell you what's the real issue behind this controversy. Because first India started that she doesn't agree with Joe Rogan saying those words, but then she states that she doesn't give a fuck about it. Joe Rogan can say what the fuck Joe Rogan wants to say, and India Ree can say what the fuck she wants to say. And she's fine by that. But what she isn't fine is that artists like musicians getting paid less, and people of color musicians like let's say black musicians aren't paid same as for example Joe Rogan, and that's the core issue. And that's also the core issue I found in Twitter, also among the leftists. They aren't that angered about the misinformation or the N-word. They are more angry about Joe Rogan getting paid hundreds of millions by Spotify. And that's the issue with a lot of leftists that I don't agree with. Either be with the cause, either be with the noble cause that you don't want misinformation to be spread, or because of the N-words. But now that you're fucking using those like a spearhead, and the core issue is behind it, behind the shield wall, and it's actually about money. And they've all said that because Joe Rogan gets paid 200 million or something, 100 to 200 million by Spotify, that's the reason why it's not okay. But I argue, isn't it the same if you take the money away? Isn't Joe Rogan still, quote unquote, spouting misinformation? And also, has he not in the past said the N-words? Even if you take the millions away? The answer is yes. But for some reason, that would be okay for everyone. You get my idea. I don't think it's okay to... I don't think it's the right thing to remove anything from the platform. But if a private company wants to do that, they're free to do that. If you're as an artist don't want to be on the same platform as Joe Rogan, you are free to move. That's the beauty of freedom. That's the beauty of like having the right to choose. And that's my opinion about this situation, in short. But let's see the outrage of Twitter. Let's start with Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, who has been really fucking open about this being basically as bad as book burnings, or more precisely library burning, or well, he won't control the past, control the future, stop him, this now, Spotify, now. I don't think this is comparable. Again, private companies can do what the fuck they want. If private company wants to delete a bunch of Joe Rogan's podcasts, they can do that because, well, they own the contract now, so they can basically do what the fuck they want. They can also, like, limit the things you see, like cut them if they want to. That's their freedom. It's a private company. So I don't think Jordan Peterson is actually right here. Lex Friedman tweeted, "I stand with Joe Rogan. It is not a coincidence that attacks calling him racist come as pressure on Spotify to censor bills. Politicians and the media profit on division and outrage." That's actually true. They fuel the extremes that make us believe we're divided. We're not. We're in this together. That's actually true. The politicians and the media profit from division and outrage. Also, Spotify and Joe Rogan profits from division and outrage. So all the factions that are there for the money get more money. Is it okay to call Joe Rogan a racist because he said the N-words? Yeah. In the past, he was probably racist. Is he the same guy still? I don't know. I can come clean now. I said some fucking racist shit like more than 10 years ago. When I was like 16 to 18, 19 years old. Maybe even 20. I've said a lot of bad. Do I still say them? No. You know why? Because humans grow. We get older. We get wiser. That's why. So, is it okay to call Joe Rogan racist now because what he said in the past? Probably not. If he's changed, if he's the same guy, then I think there's an argument for that. I don't think the White House getting involved in this is the right thing, because Spotify, again, is a private company. And I don't think a government should state anything about this situation. It's not a government, it's not a public domain situation, it's a private situation. So I think any government should shut the fuck up. Candace Owens, our beloved bullshitter, came on because The Rock, initially The Rock was on Joe Rogan's side, and then after the N-word compilation, The Rock withdrew his support of Joe Rogan. The Rock turning his back on Joe Rogan is so emblematic on why these fecal Hollywood types are never to be taken seriously. Remember, fellas, routine steroid injections does not make someone a man. Again, Joe Rogan is an individual. Joe Rogan also, but The Rock is an individual. He can basically do what the fuck he wants. And also, he's a brand. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson is a brand. So I'm pretty sure money makes The Rock's Dwayne Johnson say certain things, and also switch sides if he sees it's more profitable to be on this side than the other side. It's business. That's capitalism again. You can't be mad at capitalism. People just want to make money. And now you're all of a sudden pissed that people want to make money. Ben Shapiro, nobody targeting Joe Rogan right now gives two damns about anything he said in the past. That's true. This is all just an opportunity for activists to destroy a guy who doesn't carry water for those with institutional power and whose audience dwarfs their own. It's that simple. Well, yeah, I think that's somewhat true. Like, the people that are most outraged at the moment haven't been outraged for the past, I don't know, let's say 10 years about what Joe Rogan has said. People are riding Joe Rogan's ass to get attention and fame, and also virtue signaling to your own bubble. That's my take. I think Ben Shapiro is somewhat right. This is my take. It's not actually that controversial, because, well, I like Joe Rogan's podcast. Well, not all of them. Some I like. I don't watch all of the podcasts. I watch what interests me. And I haven't watched Joe Rogan for a while. The last one was last summer, actually, was Edward Snowden was the guest. So I do watch Joe Rogan. I used to watch it more weekly, but now it's like every other month. I watched 1 or 2 episodes. It's been a while though. But will I stop watching Joe Rogan? No. Will I watch it more? Probably not. If there's a guest that interests me, I'm gonna watch it. For example, Bill Burr would be a guest tomorrow, I would probably watch it. But if the guest for tomorrow would be somebody else that doesn't interest me, no, I wouldn't watch it. But yeah, everybody's free to do what the fuck they want. Spotify is a private company, they can do what the fuck they want. Joe Rogan is a private person, an individual, also basically a brand, so you can consider Joe Rogan to be a private company. He can do what the fuck he wants. The Rock also. So I don't think... I think this whole controversy is like... People who are usually on the side of the private and the individual is now outraged that a private company has decided against them. What do you think about it? Was I right? Was I wrong? Was anybody right? Wrong? See you guys on the next one.